Welcome, everybody, to another rendition of DeleteLawZ. My name is ChilleDeCastro. I will be your host today. I am an autodidactic constitutional law scholar. In the year 2002, Chief of Police Michael Moore of LAPD, current Chief of Police, no-knock raided my apartment twice in the same month. That's what made me the person I am today after being no-knock raided by those jackboot thug pigs twice in the same month. And so what I began to do is study the history of our Constitution, the history of our Bill of Rights, Enlightenment thinkers, John Locke, Rousseau, Montesquieu, even Thomas Hobbes, who was not an Enlightenment thinker. And what I began to determine is that America has become a total police state, prison state, death state. And the reason it is the police state, prison state, death state that it is because of the policies, procedures, and protocols that these jackboot thug pigs agree to do to us. It is absolutely unbelievable. And I'm going to show this video. Good to see you, Chevy. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you. Nice to see you, Ivan. Thanks for coming. I don't have a lot of time. As you guys know, I'm working with Dick Heller right now to finish his gun brand, and we have a few different guns that we're coming out with right now. This is the Heller Large. This is the Heller Large brand. This is a keychain, but it's pretty big. That's a pretty big keychain. So we have different sizes that we're looking at right now, and so thank you so much, Ivan. I appreciate that. Do me a favor, everybody, hit the like button. It's the thumbs up button down there. Just hit the like button real quick. I'm going to show the beginning of this video 2 or 3 times right now, and we're going to stop and talk about it 2 or 3 times. I literally have 30 minutes, and I have to get off this live stream. I have to help the gun dude work on his videos. And so what you're going to see right now is unbelievable. Can I get an OTVO? Can you put that in the chat for me real quick? Just like Chevy here did. OTVO, overturn Terry versus Ohio. Can you put it in the chat for me if you would, please? I would absolutely love that. Heller is my media voice. Yeah, there's Christy. How you doing, Christy? You and I need to talk at some point today, Christy. We need to talk about some things I don't want to announce out loud what you and I are going to talk about. But everybody do me a favor, put in the chat OTVO. This video is going to make you sick to your stomach. I have seriously 30 minutes and I have to be off of this because today I'm doing all the gun dudes videos. I'm producing all the gun dude videos today. That's what I'm doing today. That's what I'm doing tomorrow. And then I have to eventually get back to my life on the West Coast. So we're going to watch a couple minutes of this and then I'm going to stop it and we're going to go back and we're going to watch it again. And this is the definition of despotism.
A terrifying and sad story out of Tennessee. A deputy making his first arrest goes off the road.
Listen to how the state-run media, and don't think that Law and Crime is not 100% in the pocket of the state-run media. That's a state-run media organization right here on social media. Law and Crime, the way you guys present, the way that you're as bad as Audit the Audit, where you give all the reasons why the cops are allowed to abuse us, allowed to do this to us, but then you don't give the counterpoint. So let me give the counterpoint to what you just heard. Listen to this again. Listen to what he said. Do me a favor, everybody, hit the like button and then put in the comment section, OTVO, overturn Terry versus Ohio. Listen to what this state-run media reporter who works for the state, who's a statist, listen to what he says, and I'm going to stop it because there's so many places in here. This is disgusting.
A terrifying and sad story.
Take a look at the beta male. Take a look at that. Take a look at this tiny little beta male, just a beta male chumpzilla.
Of Tennessee, a deputy making his first arrest.
A deputy making his first arrest, as though that's something we should celebrate, as though we should celebrate his first arrest. Put it in the comment section. OTVO, hit the like button.
Goes off the road straight into a river, killing himself and the suspect handcuffed.
There's the suspect. Killing himself and the suspect. They didn't say her name. Killing himself and the suspect. Did you hear it? Don't skip over the subliminal messaging. Don't skip over how you are a subject. A deputy making his first arrest, killing him and the subject. What about her name? What about her life? What about her? You said he killed himself and the subject? She's not a subject, brother. She's a human being. She was a free American. She's not a subject. Killing himself and the subject, she's dead. What's her name? I don't know if they ever mentioned her name. I only got a minute and 34 seconds into this, and I said to the gun dude, DeKeller, I said, "You got to do some errands?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Go ahead, go do your errands. I got to talk about something out loud with the people." Listen to the damn messaging that law and crime says. Listen to the messaging.
A terrifying and sad story out of Tennessee. A deputy making his first arrest. Goes off the road straight into a river, killing himself and the suspect.
What a piece of shit organization you are over there at Law and Crime. What's her name? Why didn't you say her name? Killing himself and the suspect? Why didn't you say her name? How come you didn't say her name? Just has me incensed.
Handcuffed in the back. We're taking a
She was handcuffed in the back. She was handcuffed in the back when he went into the river. In other words, she died knowing the car was filling up with water. The car was filling with water. And take a look at this pencil neck beta male Chumpzilla. Put it in the comment section for me. Chumpzilla. Chumpzilla. Put it in the comment section for me, please. How many Chumpzillas can we get in the comment section? Look at him. Look at this little frickin' weasel. Look at him.
Who the victims were with Brookford, North Carolina Police Chief Will Armstrong. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime.
And look at who the victims are with the chief of police, not the girl's mother, the suspect. We don't know her name yet because they're just looking at the victims and the suspect and the deputy who made his first arrest, celebrating him as though, look at him. Look at him. Can you imagine the bitch he was in real life?
I'm Jesse Weber.
Yeah, Jesse Weber, you're a piece of shit. Hey, could someone do me a favor? I'm going to drop the link for this down in the chat. Right here. Do me a favor. Go over there and let Jesse Weber know that I said he's a Chumpzilla beta male cuck. You're a cuck, Jesse Weber. You're reporting just now on how the suspect died in the crash. What's her name, Jesse Weber? You are such a bitch, bro. You're a statist bitch. Sorry, not sorry. You are, Jesse. Absolutely. The suspect? What's her name, Jesse? It's because you don't matter. We don't matter. We're the peons.
Such a sad development.
No, what's sad, Jesse, is that you called her a suspect instead of saying her name after she was murdered by a pig, put in torture cuffs in the back of a torture mobile, and then drowned. I guarantee you that beta male cuck tried to save himself and never tried to open the back door for the girl.
Tennessee, we have this 35-year-old rookie cop. He just achieved his dream of becoming a police officer.
Stop right there. He just achieved his dream of becoming a pig. Hey, if you're watching this and your dream's to become a pig, you're a piece of shit. You're watching what I show every day, and you would dream of becoming a pig, just achieved his dream of becoming a pig, as though being a pig in America today is such a noble and good profession. You literally are the lowest rung of society. You may not have a criminal record, but you have no other skills. You can't do anything else. The only thing you can do is take orders and hurt people. That's all you can do. Are you willing to put people in torture cuffs? Yes. Are you willing to listen to them cry and say they're too tight? Yes. Are you willing to drag them down to a dungeon? Yes. Are you willing to say stupid shit like, I have a right to go home safe to my family after you drop someone off of a dungeon? Yes. Are you willing to fist bump with other pigs and say, whatever it takes for you to go home safe at the end of your shift? Yes. Are you willing to lie, cheat, steal, cover up, write false reports, say you didn't see what happened? Are you willing to make sure that you cover the thin blue line for your other pigs? Yes. And it's your dream to become a pig. You, your family, your dog, everything about you. Literally, I'm the first one to say it. I hate you pigs. You guys make me sick. I want to vomit every time I see a pig. When I pass a pig in the street, I make sure I give them to bird. Every single pig I see. As soon as I see them, bam, I give them to bird, hoping they'll come up to me so I can just lambaste their ass. Hit the like button, everybody. If you just got here, I'm sorry. I've got 30 minutes, and then I got to work together with Dick Heller the rest of the day, producing the rest of his videos. We have these guns coming out. You can get them on hellergundude.com. These little guns are for your keychain. I think I'm going to make this one a paperweight because it's pretty big. But this is the new design by my buddy E. My buddy E is producing these ones. The other ones I showed you last night were from a different person in the Midwest. I want to just make sure I try to keep our sources confidential. So this video right now is only 30 seconds in. I'll go to the beginning and I'll shut up for everybody who's new that hasn't seen it. Here we go.
A terrifying and sad story out of Tennessee. A deputy making his first arrest goes off the road straight into a river, killing himself and the suspect handcuffed.
Not her name. Not her name.
We're taking a closer look at the circumstances and who the victims were with Brookford, North Carolina Police Chief Will Armstrong.
Dissecting it with another pig who's been a pig long enough to be a pig chief.
Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
Yeah, you're Jesse. You're Jesse who calls a woman who got murdered.
Such a sad development.
Right, for the woman.
Tennessee. We have this 35-year-old rookie cop. He just achieved his dream of
celebrating a dream of being a pig,
becoming a police officer, and now he was found dead near his patrol car.
He's found dead near his patrol car.
Tennessee River in the Birchwood area just after making his first arrest.
So he celebrated his first arrest. How did he do it?
And this is not even the only sad part about this case. The suspect.
What's her name, you prick? Jesse, what's her name? Why are you calling her the suspect? What's her name? Because it's a way for you to consider her bad and the pig good. She was the good person. That pig was a piece of shit who I hope is burning in hell. I really do. I'm not God. I don't forgive. I don't believe all the shit that's written in these religious texts. I think that a lot of the things written in these religious books were written by man to control man. There is God. I definitely believe in God. And I do believe God is all forgiving. I'm a human. I saw what the pig did. I see what Jesse calls her a suspect twice in the first 2 minutes. Jesse, you're a piece of crap, dude. You really are. What's her name? We still don't know. You've called her a suspect twice. She died in torture cuffs in the back of a torture mobile. And you call her a suspect twice. And it was his dream to be a pig. You're celebrating pigs in America. You are the problem, Jesse. You're a state-run media agency right here on YouTube. YouTube, United States of America government.
That he had arrested was handcuffed and essentially trapped in the back of the car, submerged in the water. She's dead as well. This is
What's her name?
Absolutely terrible.
What's her name, Jesse? What's her name? Can someone go to this video and ask Jesse why he doesn't say her name? I put the link down in the chat.
Talk about it and explain what happened. So Robert R.J. Leonard, a father of 5, had graduated.
Thank God his kids. Oh, look at him. Look at the beta male bitch this guy is. He's built literally like a bitch. Fat in the middle, tiny shoulders, tiny arms, pencil neck. And look at his steroided up counterpart who's been on the pig squad for 20 years. All the juice in the world, no ass at all, and shoulders and chest as big as a lion because he's doing steroids.
Graduated from the academy in December.
Graduated from the academy? You mean the murderous jackboot thug pig training center?
Robert R.J. Leonard.
Robert R.J. Leonard, may you burn in hell.
Father of 5, had graduated from the academy in December. He took a position with the Meigs County Sheriff's Office as a deputy.
He took a position. No, he got the only job he could get, making $5,000 or $10,000 a month because what's his name? What was his name again?
What happened? So Robert R.J. Leonard.
Robert Leonard had no other skills, couldn't do anything else. A complete inept beta male bitch. So he didn't take a job. He got the only position he could get making real money.
A father of 5, had graduated from the academy in December. He took a position with the Meigs County Sheriff's Office as a deputy. But now you fast forward to February 14th, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. And let's all cry about Robert.
And Leonard's wife posted photos to Facebook.
Look. Queen and king of spades and hearts. He wasn't a king of spades. He was a beta male cuck.
Facebook to celebrate the holiday, but hours later, her husband would be missing.
Look at him. Look at him. That's a weasel. That's the weasel hall monitor bitch in your elementary school, in your junior high school, in your high school. And look at her. She couldn't get anything better.
This after he had just sent her a text saying he made his first arrest.
Did you just hear it? I won't interrupt. Listen.
Wife posted. Now you fast forward to February 14th, Valentine's Day, and Leonard's wife posted photos to Facebook to celebrate the holiday, but hours later, her husband would be missing. This after he had just sent her a text saying he made his first arrest.
We still don't know the girl's name, but he sent his wife a text. I made my first arrest. I got to put torture cuffs on a human being and show him in a cage. I got to throw them in a cage. I put the torture cuffs. She was crying that the torture cuffs were too tight, and I stuck them tighter. And I put her in the back, and I didn't double lock those cuffs. I made my first arrest. And the pig sucking channel Law and Crime, the reporter there, Jesse, never says the woman's name who died in torture cuffs in a cage. What a disgusting system.
Here's Attorney General Russell Johnson explaining how before he disappeared, Leonard responded to a scene to make that first arrest and how he ultimately didn't check in.
What we know is that he arrived on the scene at 9:48 p.m. on Wednesday evening, and he indicated that he was on scene. 3 minutes later at 9:51, and he indicated 10:15 that he was en route with a subject back to the Meigs County Jail.
That's the third time they've called a human being a subject or a suspect. They never mention her name. Why? Because it's a way for you to dehumanize your fellow American. Pick it up. Here's a Chumpzilla right here. Put it in the chat. Another Chumpzilla right here. Put the name Chumpzilla in the chat.
It's my understanding from this area, there's various ways you can get back to the Meigs County Jail. We'll note that, as you might have discovered, cell phone service in this neck of the woods, so to speak, is not good, and as radio communications are not, as we found out.
And he's a dumb as a box of rocks beta male cuck. Couldn't figure out how not to drive into a river.
Here tonight in our effort to try to locate him. So within 3 minutes, he was turned around and coming back. The next communication happened about approximately 12 minutes later at 10:03. And there was a radio communication that came out, and dispatch couldn't tell what he was saying or what he had said. And it took a while and some analytics to go into play for us to see what was being, or try to understand what was being said. And we think he was saying water at the
you moron pig.
Very same time, he was also texting his wife.
Save me, honey. I'm drowning.
It's my understanding he sent a...
What's the victim's name that he murdered?
A one-word text that said arrest.
Let's see if we ever find out her name through Law and Crime. Let's see if the state-run media agency here on YouTube, Law and Crime, let's see if Jesse, if he ever says her name.
Evidently, I'm learning this is his first arrest. His wife texted back and said, that's good or that's great.
That's good or that's great. Did you not hear it? Did you not hear it?
Word text that said arrest. Evidently, I'm learning this is his first arrest. His wife texted back and said, that's good or that's great.
That's good or that's great, honey. You got to torture cuff someone and drug him to a dungeon. So proud of you, baby.
We know that he did not receive, his phone did not evidently receive that text. So those two things happened.
Thank God he didn't get congratulated as he murdered a woman that they keep calling a suspect or a subject. We still don't know her name.
At the same time. So dispatch at that point started doing a status check, and every deputy or officer that was out checked in, said 10-4, they're okay, but not Deputy Leonard.
So very chilling stuff right there, particularly how these electronic communications.
Listen to what Cope Dog down here says. Cope Doggy Dog. I don't believe in word. He could have been in that girl, poor girl. Yeah, he could have been. How do you get turned around driving back to the pig shack? How does that happen? And now Jesse here is going to call her a subject and a suspect a couple more times.
So very chilling stuff right there, particularly how these electronic communications can kind of tell us the story. But before.
What's chilling is the electronical communications, not the fact that a woman died in the back of a torture mobile in shackles.
Before we go any further, let me bring in Once again, to hear on Sidebar, Will Armstrong, Brookford Police Chief in North Carolina.
Oh, look how Jesse celebrates. Look how he, watch his mannerisms. Watch this.
These electronic communications can kind of tell us the story. But before we go any further, let me bring in, once again, to hear on Sidebar, Will Armstrong, Brookford Police Chief in North Carolina. Will, so great to have you back on here.
So
thanks for taking the time.
Great to have you back on.
That's typical, right? The check-in or the status checks with dispatch, maybe at ends of shifts at the end of the night.
Yeah, it's typical.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime an officer usually is on any kind of scene, especially in my area, they're going to get a status check.
He ain't black, folks. Okay. You know the Joe Biden line? He ain't black. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Okay. Let me go a little further than Joe Biden. He's not black. He's blue. Put it in the chat. He's not black. He's blue. If you're not on team blue, they don't care about you. That's a fact. He's not a black person. He's a blue person. The only way he's black is if he's in sweats and a t-shirt and the other pigs don't recognize that he's a blue pig too, and they only see the external aesthetics of his black skin. Then they'll treat him like he's black. But he ain't black. He's blue. Fact. He's an absolute blue. Not black. He's not black. He's not a black man. He's a blue man. I want to be totally clear on this, okay?
From communications, when you check out on a scene, they're going to check on you. Some places have automatic timers built into their systems and stuff. They may check on you every 2 minutes. Traffic stops, they may check on you every 30 seconds.
They're checking on you, the pig, to make sure the pig's okay.
In this case, it sounds like he was en route to the jail and they lost transmission with him.
He was en route to the jail where he pulled over to do what Cope Dog put in the comment right there.
And so obviously they're going to start checking on him just to see what's.
He checked in with his wife, said, "I made my first arrest," and she replied, "That's great. That's good."
Going on. It's very good, like you said, that they had this electronic log to kind of.
It's very good that they had this log.
Keep a timeline on what took place.
And Jesse totally agrees. Look at the state-run media statist reporter. I'm going to put the link down in the chat here. Go ask Jesse if he ever mentions the girl's name who was murdered by the pig. Just want to know, Jesse, you ever talk about the girl who was murdered?
And I appreciate you saying that. It's not.
Do you appreciate him, Jesse? I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Keep a timeline on what took place.
And I appreciate you saying that it's not normal for someone to not check in, which is a good thing because someone might be in trouble.
Like the woman in the back of the car who got murdered by the pig. And Jesse, you're not on my level, bro. You're not on my level. Hey, Chille, you sent me the trifold for free when I didn't have a job. I got a job now. So this is for you, brother. That's called mission, Jesse. I built my following from the ground up. These people have been with me since the beginning, and I've given my products away for free for years. You, Jesse, never said her name. And you, Jesse, are a scumbag. You're a scumbag, bro. I sent it to you for free because I love you, bro. And I don't want this to happen to you. You pig, Jesse.
In your profession. You mentioned the data. So through his cell phone, authorities were able to track Leonard down by the river. And then these search teams, they end up finding his patrol car submerged in the water at the end of this old ferry ramp. It's our understanding it had been used in the last few decades by locals as a place to put boats into the Tennessee River. And the person that Deputy Leonard arrested, identified as mother of two, Tabitha Smith.
Oh, you finally recognize her as a person, Jesse? You started off by calling her a subject and a suspect. Jesse, you need the state-run media job that they put you in because you can't gather a following on your own because you have no mission. There's no purpose for you. You don't have a drive. There's nothing. Let's say her name. Let's put her name in the chat because she deserves to be recognized by being murdered by pigs.
Few decades by locals as a place to put boats into the Tennessee River. And the person that Deputy Leonard arrested, identified as mother of two, Tabitha Smith.
Tabitha Smith, put her name in the chat. Put her name in the chat, Tabitha Smith. Hey, Lackluster, I'm going to do a fundraiser for her. You want to help out? Lackluster? Hey, Lackluster, I'm going to do a fundraiser for Tabitha Kid's family, for the 2 kids. You want to help out? It's a pretty popular story, Dale. You might jump right on it, video thief. You might jump right on this, Dale. Lackluster is such a fraud. You guys have no idea. You don't know really who that guy is. He's a total fraud. Tabitha Smith, put her name in the chat.
Handcuffed inside, essentially trapped in the back. Reports indicate that she was covered in mud when she was found in the water. Her family says that
look at her.
She had been battling drug addiction, but was trying to turn her life around. It's unclear exactly why she was taken into custody. Will, I mean, we talk about the death of Leonard, which we'll get into in a little bit more, but what happened to her? That is so sad. Thinking about her death, how terrifying that must have been for her.
Well, you started off calling her a subject and a suspect. You never said her name. You didn't say, and Tabitha Smith died in the back seat. You called her a subject, a suspect.
That is so sad. Thinking about her death, how terrifying that must have been for her. Handcuffed.
Oh, Jesse, you're only 5 minutes in and you've celebrated the pig. You brought a pig on to break it down. And now 5 minutes later, you're mentioning her name. Finally.
And essentially drowning?
No, not essentially drowning. Knowing she's going to drown in torture cuffs. Can you imagine, just for a second, can you even imagine as the water's filling up in the car and her arms are torture cuffed behind her back and how hard she was pulling her wrists to try to get her wrists out, to try to get out of the cage in the back of the car? Could you even imagine what Tabitha Smith was going through? She probably ground her wrists to blood. She probably has gouges. If we saw her body, her wrists are probably gouged open because when the water's filling up to here and you know you're going to die, you're fighting with everything you got to get yourself out of those torture cuffs. Could you imagine her last few moments? These are the good guys who put you in here. They're going to help you with your drug addiction. That's what we're doing here. We're here to help you out. What a sick system we've created.
Right. That is the worst possible outcome that you could ever want for when you're transporting someone. I mean,
you don't give a shit, bro. You don't care. Don't act like you care. You got dimples. You're a cute looking dude, but you're a piece of shit, dude.
When you put it that way, because she had not a fighting chance if she.
You could tell her face is all pocky. She's on drugs, like 20% of this country.
Handcuffed in the back seat of the patrol vehicle. She can't get.
It's not a patrol vehicle. Put it what it is. It's a torture mobile. It's a torture mobile. I'm doing the same thing. Heavy bits. I'm doing the exact same thing right now. If anybody buys a trifold from me, if you go to my website and you buy a trifold, in the notes section, put the name and address of somebody you want me to send one for free. If you buy a trifold from me today, on Saturday, if you get a Fifth Amendment trifold from me that shows you all the case law like Heavy Bits did, you buy one from me, you put in the notes, Chille, send one to my brother at this address in this place. Don't even tell him. I'm just going to sip it to him in the mail. I need his name, address, perfectly. Put first and last, 123 Main Street, Anywhereville, Illinois, 72186. You buy a trifold from me, you tell me who you want me to ship one for free. This is my mission, to get you guys to invoke your Fifth Amendment right when you deal with these jackboot thug pigs. You get a trifold from me. You put in the comment section of the notes when you order, I ordered this. Here's my order number. You might not have your order number yet. Here's the person I want you to send a free one to, and I'll send it off for free. When I gave one to Heavy Bits, I overdrafted my account by thousands of dollars because I had a mission to give away as many as I could. I watch this and I'm just broken about this, that they call her a suspect and that the focus is on the cop.
Free. And so you ever want for when you're transporting someone. I mean, when you put it that way, because she had not a fighting chance if she's handcuffed in the back seat of the patrol vehicle, she can't get free. And so you're right. She ultimately drowned to death and didn't even have a chance to even attempt to break free. So,
no.
Drowned to death and didn't even have a chance to even attempt to break free.
Oh, no. She tried to break free. Don't let the state-run media and the jackboot thug pig mislead you. She tried to break free. I'd like to see her body in the morgue and see what happened to her wrists.
So, and to be clear, I mean, I should have corrected that. We don't know 100% what the cause of death is, but I think we're assuming based on the circumstances here about what might have happened. Real quick about that. It was proper protocol here for her to be handcuffed in the back seat.
There it is. There it is. The justification for murder. The justification. Did you hear the state-run media operative named Jesse? Did you hear what he just said? He's going to validate that you belong being torture cuffed in the back of a torture mobile.
We're assuming based on the circumstances here about what might have happened. Real quick.
And now, real quick, let's justify that the pig was justified in torture cuffing her, sticking her in the back of a torture mobile, and driving her into the river.
About that. It was proper protocol here for her to be handcuffed in the back seat. Yeah, that's typical, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Have happened. Real quick about that. It was proper protocol here for her to be handcuffed in the back seat. Yeah, that's typical, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Most agencies have a policy in place that if you're going to be transported in any police vehicle, they want you to be handcuffed. A lot of agencies can't even transport civilians around in that case without being handcuffed.
Did you just hear what they're saying? Listen to what the words that they're saying. Listen, if you get a trifold from me, put in the notes of your purchase who you want me to send it to. If you need me to email you the PDF, just go through my website, DeleteLawZ.com, go to contact. I will at the minimum email you the PDF so that you can print it out yourself and print off 10 more to give to friends and family. And a lot of people, because I give away so many hundreds of these every month, I'll ask you to cover shipping and handling $5 or $6. So I'm doing everything I can. But listen to the justification. Maybe the protocol should change. Maybe the protocol. I need about 15 minutes, Dick, and we're going to run again.
All right.
Oh yeah.
About what might have happened. Real quick about that. It was proper protocol here for her to be handcuffed in the
justification
back seat. Yeah, that's typical, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Justification.
Most agencies have a policy in place that if you're going to be transported in any police
if you're going to be transported in any police vehicle,
they want you to be handcuffed.
They want you to be handcuffed.
A lot of agencies can't even transport civilians around in that case without being handcuffed.
If you're a civilian and need a ride, their policy is that you need to be handcuffed, torture cuffed. Put in the chat for me, torture cuffs are always torture. Torture cuffs are always torture.
Just because it's for an officer safety standpoint.
There it is, folks.
In that case, without being handcuffed, just because it's for an officer safety standpoint.
An officer safety standpoint, if you are not torture cuffed in the back of the torture mobile, well, then officers don't feel safe. Don't call them officers. JBTP, Jackboot Thug Pigs. You sign up to the Death Star, you're my enemy, and I hate you. Sorry. Your policy is to put people in torture cuffs, even if they're civilians. A lot of pigs can't even give a civilian a ride unless you're in torture cuffs. It's an officer safety thing. You need to have your arms shackled behind your back, and you need to go in a cage. What'd you do? Your mud flaps were too short. What'd you do? You were jaywalking. What'd you do? The lights came in. More guns. That's their policy, is that you have to be completely incapacitated for them to feel safe. It's an officer safety thing, which comes from what? OTVO, Overturn Terry versus Ohio. That's where it comes from. The entire officer safety mantra comes from the 1968 case called Terry versus Ohio. That's an absolute fact. This pig right here is reiterating officer safety first.
In that case, without being handcuffed, just because it's for an officer safety standpoint. But if you're a prisoner and you're going to the jail, absolutely, it's standard protocol to be handcuffed. And that's
if you're a prisoner. She wasn't a prisoner. Tabitha Smith had a drug problem. She wasn't a prisoner. She had a drug problem.
Just for our safety.
Just for our safety. He's showing you everything. Are you listening?
It's also for their safety, so that we just because it's for an officer safety standpoint. But if you're a prisoner and you're going to the jail, absolutely, it's standard protocol. You're to be handcuffed, and that's just for our safety. And it's also for their safety. So that
is that right? Was Tabitha Smith safer when you put her in torture cuffs? If you had put Tabitha Smith in the front seat in a regular car, or in the back seat of a regular car, where she could have jumped out, sure, she could have done all those things. She could have ran off. But if you put her in the front seat or in the back seat of a regular car, wouldn't that have been safer for her? But you said right here,
standard protocol, you're to be handcuffed, and that's just for our safety. And it's also for their safety.
For their safety. Put a 1 in the chat if that's a bald-faced pig lie. There's no such thing as you being safer once you're torture cuffed. That's an absolute fucking lie. This has me so emotional. I can't even tell you. Brian from Here's the Deal sent me I woke up this morning and Brian was on the phone, and Brian sent me this video from Here's the Deal. And I'll tell you what, I watched 90 seconds of it. I haven't seen this. I'm watching this fresh with you. But Brian told me all throughout this are little nuggets of despotism, little nuggets that show us. He just said it's for our safety and for your safety. Was it safety? Was it safer for Tabitha Smith with her 2 children to be torture cuffed in the backseat of that torture mobile? No, it was not. But he's still continuing the lie. Pigs are liars. Put it in the chat. Pigs are liars. Torture cuffs are always torture.
So that we don't know they're messing around with anything and we don't get the worries. Absolutely, it's standard protocol. You're to be handcuffed, and that's just for our safety. And it's also for their safety, so that we don't know they're messing around with anything and we don't get the worries.
And as for
so we don't get the worries, he just said so we don't get the worries. Is that what he just said?
Deputy Leonard, he wasn't in the car, so they find her, but they find Smith, but they don't find Deputy Leonard. And
no, he got out and tried to save himself.
While the search for Leonard was ongoing, there was this hope that he might be found alive outside the water. They didn't immediately follow.
There was a hope that he would be found alive.
Find him. And at the news conference, before Leonard's body was ultimately located, the sheriff was quite emotional.
Deputy Leonard had been on the force about 2 months. He graduated just out of the academy and had got his training. We put him on a night shift, and he was doing a pretty good job.
He was doing the tyrannical despotism of the YouTube United States government with the state-run media, Law and Crime, with Jesse on here, who just validated that she should have been torture cuffed. Hey, Jesse, I challenge you to a debate. Hey, Jesse, tell Jesse, I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Tell Jesse I challenged him to a debate. Come on my channel, Jesse. You don't have a following of your own. Here's his link right here. Go tell Jesse over there. I put the link right there. Go tell Jesse I challenge you to a debate. I don't debate very many people because it's mostly a waste of time. I just want to lambaste you. I want to destroy you, Jesse. You're not on my knowledge level. You're not equal to me. I'm a better man than you are. You're a piece of shit, dude. Absolute piece of shit. And just real quick here, it's standard protocol to put someone in torture cuffs in the back car. Oh, absolutely. We put them in torture cuffs for our safety and for theirs, and so that we don't get the worries, is what that pig said. Jesse, you are a statist, dude. I would love to debate you, but you won't debate me because you can't, all these people here are here because of what I've done with my life. Jesse, you got a job at Law and Crime because you're a talking head. You don't offer anything, bro. You're a cuck. Literally, Jesse.
Done a real good job.
Oh, he's done a real good job. It was his first arrest.
Pretty good job. He's done a real good job. And it's just, I don't know. It's just hard when the department is just like a family, and we just
listen to what they're telling you. The department is like their family. You're not on it.
I hope things is different. I pray it is.
But ultimately, and sadly, Leonard's body was recovered by the Meigs County EMS and Rescue Squad with the help of dive teams. His remains were transported to a regional medical examiner's office, escorted by members of multiple agencies, and the impact on his colleagues was apparent.
Hard time for us here. Forgive me.
Good. Cry. I'm sorry. I have zero empathy for you, pig. I hope that pig's burning in hell. I hope he's burning in hell. If God has a hell, which I don't think he does. That's just a man-made thing in books so that you'll be afraid. And he's so broken up over the pig who died, who's been on the pig force for 2 months. So he didn't know the guy forever, but he was willing to lie, cheat, steal, and cover up his crimes. So he's going to miss Jesse a lot. I feel zero empathy. When I see a pig crying, I think to myself, how else could we poke him? What else could we do to him to make him cry more?
Something we don't ever deal with here in Meigs County.
Oh, something we don't ever deal with is one of our pigs dying.
We're a small rural county.
We're a small rural county. We run roughshod over everybody.
We're not used to it.
We ain't used to pigs dying around here because officer safety's first and everything.
Deputy Leonard had only been here for a couple months.
Deputy Leonard only been here a couple months, and I'm already crying because we had a thin blue line tower.
He became part of our family.
He became part of our family, but not part of yours. But not part of your family, JT Soup. Pig tears are demon tears. How many people, if you feel absolutely no empathy, if you feel absolutely no remorse or no sadness for this pig, put a 1 in the chat. I want the pigs watching this who monitor my channel. I want them to see how many people have zero empathy for a guy who put a woman in torture cuffs, sent a text to his wife and said, hey, I made my first arrest. At 35, it was his dream to be a pig. And his wife replies, oh, that's good. That's great, honey. And then he disappears off the radar with someone who's a drug addict. And then all of a sudden ends up in the river. I believe what Cope Doggy Dog said, that he pulled off on a dark road while she was in torture cuffs is what I believe. Put a 1 in the chat. Look at that, pigs. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. We're in a war against you. You're the enemy. The cops are the darkness, the terror in the night. When you drive down the street tonight, what do you have to worry about? The cops. I got Dick Heller in the background. Sorry about that. He's an ex-cop, so.
And that's an important point there, Will, right? Like the idea of A, how new he was to the job, right? Had just started here. It was his dream. How young he was. But B, it is a family. And this is a tremendous loss.
It is a family. Listen to Jesse, the state-run media reporter. This guy right here. Challenge you to a debate, Jesse. Debate me. You can't, because you can't get a following. You need someone to give you a job because you can't lead anything.
How new he was to the job.
How new he was to this new, he's a brand new baby to the family.
Just started here. It was his dream.
It was his dream to be a pig.
How young he was.
How young he was. What about her? What about Tracy Smith?
B, it is a family.
But B, it's a family, and you're not a part of it.
This is a tremendous loss.
This is a tremendous loss to the pig family that you're not a part of. They need to put you in torture cuffs for your safety.
Around him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's so difficult. I think some people don't.
I'm so sorry. I misspoke. Thank you for correcting me. Her name was Tabitha Smith. Everybody let Lackluster know I'm going to do a fundraiser for Tabitha Smith. Hey, Dale, you beta male video thief. Dale at Lackluster, I'm going to do a fundraiser for Tabitha Smith. Dale, I told you I would be bigger than you. I would pass you, and I am. And you, my friend, are just a grifter. You steal people's videos and you make the money. Remember, he did the video on Juniper in Kentucky, got 500,000 views on it, and then put up a GoFundMe for her where he put $100 in there. He made $5,000 off the video. He put a fundraiser up, didn't follow up on the fundraiser, didn't help her raise the money for her attorney, put $100 in a GoFundMe and said, look, I put $100 in. That's Lackluster. He's a total fraud. Dale said 2 years ago that victims of violence of mine had come to him, and he was not saying their names because he was protecting them. Where are they, Dale? Thousands of trolls would love to know where they are, Dale, but I want everybody to know Dale at Lackluster is a total fraud. $100 bill he put into a fundraiser after he made $5,000 off of that woman's video. I told you, Dale. I warned you, son. You mess with the bull, you get the horns, boy. Tabitha Smith has put her name in the chat. Tabitha Smith.
Quite realize when you're in law enforcement capacity, you've got to operate a radio and you're operating sirens and your computers and all this stuff now.
Look at he glorifies it.
with technology being advanced as it is. So you're constantly having to mess with electronics. But in this case, he had a cell phone, throw that into the mix, and
throw it into the mix of running a computer and a cell phone and driving, and beta male cucks can't do it.
Unfortunate circumstances happen. So we have to go through annual kind of refreshers, drivers training every year. And what we talk about through some of that is just making sure that our electronics are kind of secondary, that what we're focusing on is the road, because even when we're responding, and we're just going another topic, but you're responding to emergency traffic, you got so many things, GPSs, all this stuff now. It's hard. It's not as easy as it seems to be. So
it's hard to be a tyrant, jackboot, thug, pig? I'm so shocked.
And he was new to the area, is my understanding.
Let's talk about that.
Let's justify him killing a girl, driving her into a river, and celebrating his first arrest of a drug addict. Let's celebrate him putting her in torture cuffs and driving into the river.
Because the area that Deputy Leonard was driving is...
Let me justify how stupid this pig was.
It's considered dangerous if you're not familiar with it, especially it's rural, it's dark, it has these sharp curves. The boat ramp is near where one would turn to take the bridge across the river. So it is possible that maybe Leonard turned too soon. It's also possible that he could have been distracted by the message that he sent his wife. We can't confirm that. We just don't know. DA Johnson did say, quote, "We're operating under the theory that it was an accident, that he missed his turn. He wasn't familiar, and he was doing other things that may have caused him to go underwater."
Other things to Tabitha, where she was in torture cuffs and he was alone with her and she's a drug addict.
There's skid marks and some scratch marks too. So there's some indication that he was on the brakes, at least trying to stop. So it sounds like, just an unfortunate accident.
It's an unfortunate accident that Tabitha was put in torture cuffs and put in the back of a torture mobile. We don't know what her crime was, but you got to put him in the back of the torture mobile, so there's no officer worry, is what this pig said.
And Johnson also said that this isn't the first time that cars have ended up in the water at this boat ramp. A local judge who grew up in the area and was present at one of the news conferences said it's something they need to look at.
It's probably been open because it's such a good place to put the boats in, but I think we need some sort of
remember what this guy does. He puts people in prisons.
Device.
He's a statist all the way. He's the one that rubber stamps the warrants that they put to raid your house.
Maybe before you get down to the boat landing, to the water, that will make people stop, and then maybe go around it to put their boat in.
Yeah, more rumble strips, perhaps. It has one small set and then just the one sign. That's about all there is.
So Will, it sounds like this was a terrible accident.
Justify that the cop was a dumb shit.
I know online there's been a rush to say that he was distracted driving, texting his wife.
Yeah. So if you drove off the road and you were celebrating your first tyrannical jackboot thug pig arrest, they would justify your actions too. But if you were texting your wife and you got in a head-on collision, all the headlines would be how you were distracted driving. You shouldn't have been texting your wife when you're driving, and that's why 2 people died. But not him. And listen to Jesse, the state-run media operative.
Online, there's been a rush to say that he was distracted driving, texting his wife. There is evidence, as again, he sent this message. She wrote him back. He didn't respond to it. We know earlier that there was possibly him trying to get out a message through his dispatch that he was saying water. You're hearing about the skid marks. But it sounds by all accounts that this was just a terrible, terrible, unfortunate set of circumstances.
Oh, come on, dude. Someone go over here and tell Jesse I want to debate him. Someone drop a link to Jesse and tell Jesse I want to debate him. Here's the link. It's a terrible set of unfortunate circumstances. But if it was you texting and driving and you killed 2 people, they would demonize the hell out of you and say how you effed up and you are the problem and you killed that girl in the back seat. But when it's the pigs, listen to the pig sucker Jesse, the state-run media organization called Law and Crime. Listen to Jesse and his bullshit.
He was saying water here, that there was possibly him trying to get out a message through his dispatch. There is evidence, as again, he sent this message. She wrote him back. He didn't respond to it. We know earlier that there was possibly him trying to get out a message through his dispatch that he was saying water. You're hearing about the skid marks. But it sounds by all accounts that this was just a terrible, terrible, unfortunate set of circumstances.
No, Jesse. No, Jesse. Put a 1 in the chat if he was texting and driving and he killed himself, and the Tabitha Smith, who was in the backseat of his car. Put a 1 in the chat if this is a pig sucker. If Jesse's a pig sucker. Sucking off those pigs, Jesse. Just real quick here. It's standard to put someone in torture cuffs in the back of the car, right? This is normal, right? Set them up. Absolutely. For officer safety and to make sure for your safety and my safety, we put you in the back of that car. And, so officer worry. We don't want any officer worry. And then and Jesse says, there's a rush to people online saying that he was distracted driving and texting and driving. But it sounds to me, Jesse, like this is just an unfortunate set of circumstances. You're such a piece of garbage, dude. You're such a piece of shit. You are, dude. And I don't care. YouTube demonetizes all my videos anyway. You are such a piece of shit, dude. You really are. Making excuses for the pig while the rest of us would be demonized. Our families would be shamed for you texting and driving, but not Jesse, not celebrating his first arrest of Tabitha Smith, who was a drug addict. Not, I don't even remember the pig's name. May he burn in hell.
Yeah, I'm familiar. I've done a lot of traffic enforcement and worked a lot of wrecks. The fact that there's skid marks, that's going to go ahead and tell you that he saw what he did see that there was danger there, but he put the brakes on, which is good. But it might have been too late.
Oh, so that means that he was distracted driving and texting, and so he murdered himself and murdered Tabitha Smith because he was distracted driving. The fact that there's skid marks, yeah. If you're driving down the road and you're going like this, oh shit! He was distracted driving. Don't make excuses just because he's a pig. They set him up by saying, you got a computer and you got your phone and you got the suspect. Her name's Tabitha Smith. Unbelievable. And they want you to buy this. The reason all my videos are demonetized, they don't want you to hear this message that they're making excuses for pigs.
One of the great things about these accidents, and when they have reconstructionists come in, and those are guys that are law enforcement experts that come in and they can
pigs coming in to justify the pig's actions.
Look at this scene and usually piece back together exactly what happened.
Yeah, that he killed a girl because he was texting and driving. He was celebrating arresting of someone who's addicted to chemicals.
And the way they do that is they're going to measure the skid marks.
They're going to measure the skid marks that wouldn't have had to be there if he wasn't texting, celebrating an arrest with his wife.
For any other marks that may be in the ground, such as gouge marks, they're going to
listen to the bullshit lies. If this was you, they would be demonizing you. Yeah, Chille was texting and driving, and at the last minute, he tried to slam the brakes on, but if he hadn't been texting and driving, they wouldn't have gone into the river. Chille is the problem. Chille shouldn't have been texting and driving. You're seeing it. You're seeing it right in front of you. You're seeing it. You're listening to it.
Look and see how far it was from the scene, and they can estimate speed based off of the skid marks and where the vehicle's at. They also can look at things like airbag control modules and stuff inside of the vehicles, especially with the newer vehicles. And
it's all pig-splaining, cop-splaining, cop talk as the reason why the pig is not responsible, Robert. The pig did this. Don't let this dimpled blue man, he's not black, he's blue, don't let him sway you. All the talk and
those things can tell you things that you may not even realize. As far as if your phone is connected to these things now, it can tell you if there was a text message open. It can tell you if there was something that had happened. So they're going to likely be able to piece together exactly what happened with time. These reconstructions that will come back and ultimately place this accident, they'll be able to give you a better time frame in what it was looking like at the time, as far as his cell phone and the electronics, based off of the airbag control module, based off of the airbags going off.
Bullshit. Cop-splaining bullshit. Bullshit. With the airbag and the computer and the phone and the this and the that and the this and the that.
based off of the skid marks and just the speed. And they'll be able to have a better understanding. I think time will just allow that as they continue their investigation.
I agree. I will tell you.
He agrees. Jesse agrees, everybody. The state-run media operative who can't garner his own following has to be hired by a state-run media agency. They put them on social media as though they're not statists. This is a statist jackboot thug pig sucker. Jesse's got that cop stick all the way down the back of his throat. He's got a cop stick up his backside, and he's loving it.
What we know now, and that is that 2 people died.
No. One person was murdered, and the other guy was distracted driving and killed them both.
It's a senseless death. So these 2 people should not have.
Tell Jesse I want to debate him.
This was just a tragic situation.
No. This was a negligent homicide situation, Jesse, you pig sucker. I'm going to drop the link down in the chat. Tell Jesse I want to debate him. Tell Jesse I want to talk about this exact case. Here's the link. Get over here to this link and tell Jesse that DeleteLawZ wants to debate you and talk about your bullshit pig sucking commentary. That's what I want to debate you, Jesse. I mean, you should hear this shit, Dick. You should hear this. This is unbelievable what you're hearing. I'll show you the video. There's only 3 minutes left. And yeah. This is I got about 5 minutes left and I got to go. So remember my special for the day. If you buy a trifold from me, put in the comment section there's a note section when you purchase a trifold on DeleteLawZ. Tell me who you want me to send one for free. Put their full name, Billy Johnson, 123 Main Street, Anywhereville, USA, 42186, and I will send them a free trifold for you. I'll even put your name on it, that your friend Dick Heller sent this to you in the mail. And just to sweeten it for the gift of the person, I will put in a pair of cop cards for your friend. I'll put a free set of cop cards in there too, because I don't give a shit about this. I need money, but at the same time, it's not the mission. That's right. We support people and we help people. I'm going to put a pair of cop cards in there too. So you'll only get one trifold, but your friend that you put in the notes will get a trifold and a pair of cop cards. And by the way, the new cop cards, these are done as of Friday. We're out of these as of yesterday. So you're not going to get your shipped order till Tuesday, and then it won't get there for 4 or 5 days. I'm just telling you, we're out of cop cards. Almost done. About 3 more minutes of this.
This was just a tragic situation. And it's,
no, Jesse, it was not just a tragic situation. This was a cop texting and driving and celebrating arresting somebody.
And it was a senseless death. So these 2 people.
It wasn't senseless. It was negligent homicide.
This was just a tragic situation.
No, it wasn't just a tragic situation, Jesse.
It's, you have 2 families. You have 2 families who lost loved ones, and
no, one person was murdered. The other one is the jackboot thug pigs.
They're never going to be the same. It's really a sad case, and I wanted your perspective on it because I haven't heard of anything like this.
Yes, you have. We hear about it all the time. People distracted, texting and driving, and they die. We hear about it all the time. But you're not putting the blame where it belongs because you're a statist, Jesse.
Not sure if you have heard anything like this. But
oh, no, never. Put a 1 in the chat if you've heard of plenty of people dying while texting and driving. Put a 1 in the chat if you've heard of this plenty of times. But I've never heard of anything like this before. Someone texting and driving off the road. I've never heard of anything like this before. Jesse, you will ignore the people going to your channel and telling you to debate me. You will report my video as though I bullied you. And YouTube may delete the video because I was so honest about Jesse. And the pig, he's not black, he's blue. He's not a black man, he's blue. You ain't black, he's blue. He joined the pig force, he's blue. If you're not on Team Blue, they don't care about you. And listen to Jesse. They've never heard of anything like this before happening. They've never heard of someone distracted driving and killing somebody. Never.
It's just a really, really sad case.
It's just a really, really sad case. He didn't drive off the road because he was celebrating his first arrest. Do you see what a cuck the guy was?
Happen. But Will Armstrong, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for coming on and validating that this was a total accident, totally unavoidable, and that you need to go in torture cuffs for Officer Worry. We don't want the officer to worry. And this is for your safety that you go in the back of the torture mobile. Tabitha Smith was in torture cuffs. Can you imagine as the water was rising, how much she fought to get the torture cuffs off as the water is going up and up and up. And she's screaming to the cop, get me out of here. He gets himself out of the car. They find him outside the car, but not her. She's in the car. She's tearing her wrists apart, trying to get out of the torture cuffs as the water is rising. But this is just a tragic accident. They've never heard of anything like this happening before. It wasn't distracted driving. There were skid marks, so he slammed on the brakes. Yeah, after he realized that he was going to go into the river.
Really appreciate your insight. Would love to have you back here on.
Oh, I'm sure you would, Jesse. I'm sure you would.
Sidebar if you ever have time.
I'd love to. Can I come on Sidebar, Jesse? Want to come on my show, Jesse? I have a way bigger following than you do by massive amounts. You can't build a following of your own unless you suck on that cop stick.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed it.
Okay, everybody. That is all we have for you right now here on.
That's all the statist dog shit we have for you today. We have no idea how this happened. It was just a tragic accident. You're so full of shit, Jesse. I don't need your outro. You can blow me, bro. I don't give a rat's ass about you. You're an absolute piece of garbage. So let me switch gears here. I'm going to make this last announcement. As you guys know, I'm doing the buy one, get one free today. And I'm going to give your friend a pair of cop cards. You ain't getting them. I'm giving them to your friend that you put in the notes when you buy one trifold. You're only getting the trifold. I'm just being honest. Earlier, someone came in here and said, I gave him a trifold when he had no money, just gifted me $50. Thank you, bro. I gave you the trifold because this is my mission to help as many people as I can. You plead the fifth. I wonder if Tabitha Smith had pled the fifth. I wonder if we're going to get to see that, why he arrested her exactly. So now I got a question for you guys. Dick, do you want to give me the different sizes and let me know which sizes? So this is the 20% size. So these are the keychains available on hellergundude.com. Someone could put hellergundude.com in the comment section. So this is the biggest one. This is the Heller Gun Dude keychain. And this is from my buddy E, who's one of our vendors. This is the Heller keychain that you can get on hellergundude.com. You put your own keychain on right here. And by the way, you would have to stomp on it on concrete. So these are the sizes here. Now this one is the larger one, but look how big this is in comparison to my hand. See there, and I don't want anybody to get shot by a pig thinking that this little tiny miniature is an actual firearm. So this is the big one. I think this might be too big. So E, if you're watching this, he's a big time supporter as well. And by the way, E won't take a dime from me. I've asked him 20 times to send me a bill. He hasn't taken a single dime from me because he knows what the mission is. So there's this one. What's the next size down? Okay. And then there's this one here. Okay. So look at the difference in sizes between these two, which, by the way, I'm going to give all of these away. We're going to give all these samples away to people. We'll do them as giveaways coming up. So here's the other one. This one's quite a bit smaller, but I think it's more. The key ring is down there on this one. So this is the next one down, and these are going to come in all different colors. Heller is going to be colored in different colors. This is all stuff we've been working on. Tabitha Smith, we love you. I got you, Joseph. We're going to do a fundraiser for Tabitha's family. I'm going to invite Dale from Lackluster. Hey, Dale, there's nothing in it for you. You're not going to make thousands and thousands of dollars off her video. You might just have to do something for someone else, Dale. Could you imagine that? So now what's the next size down, Dick? Okay, so this is what? Oh, compare these two. Are these the same size or? Oh, okay. You can see one's a little bit smaller than the other one. Right. So this one's a little smaller. This is, do we have a set of keys anywhere? Will you grab me a set of keys real fast? Any keychain will do. But I need your opinion on this. You can get these on hellergundude.com. Heller Gun Dude is just up and running right now. You can order your keychain to support the Second Amendment. A large portion of our proceeds of profits go directly to nonprofit organizations. Dick is going to go into the Heller Foundation, and mine is going to go into my nonprofit organization called We Support People. And I'm going to show you guys my bank account receipts for We Support People, because there's people in the world like Dale who are just frauds that just do this for themselves at Lackluster. He's a total fraud. And so I'm going to make sure that I just am totally transparent with my nonprofit and show you guys everything. Okay. So there's the keychain right there in comparison to keys. I think that this is the right size. What do you think, Dick? And that's even smaller. I think that's too small. You can get these on hellergundude.com. Make sure you guys go to hellergundude.com if you want these miniatures. And this goes on your keychain so you can have a conversation with people about Heller versus District of Columbia 2008. Now he's all the way up to number 10. And he just talked to me last night about filing Heller versus DC versus Heller at number 11, which would have to do exactly with what our mission has been on this channel, which is to get you to invoke your Fifth Amendment right. And Dick and I were talking last night, and we said, why do you lose your Fifth Amendment right if you happen to have a concealed carry or carry a firearm? Why do you have to tell a pig that you have a gun? We saw what happened to Philando Castile. We saw what happened. When he told him he had a firearm, he shot him. So Dick is going to file Heller 11 again in the Supreme Court that you should not have to give up your Fifth Amendment right just because you have a firearm. You shouldn't have to tell the pig that you have a firearm. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate the support. I believe in me too. And I think that Press with Rancor is here, everybody. Good to see you, Press. I think that when I get to the point where I'm at the point of the governorship, I'm going to have real security because I think they're going to try to kill me because I'm going to change this organization from the top down. So I had a talk with a friend about that today, and I think they'll try to kill me. So while I'm still alive, what do you guys think of that? I think that's the right size. I mean, what do you guys think in comparison to a regular old school car key? That's the size. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of that? You can get these on hellergundude.com. You got your trifold? Awesome. So just so you guys know, because people, I don't remember the gentleman's name who came in and donated $50, but I send off hundreds of free trifolds to people, hard copy trifolds. Every day, without fail. Send them off for free. Okay. So I like this size. I don't know which bag this came out of, but we'll take a picture and send it to E. I like this size right here. What do you think, Dick?
The tiny one seems to be too small.
This is the tiny one right here.
But it would be good on a charm bracelet.
Oh, this would be good on a charm bracelet.
With the size.
Yeah, and I think this would.
We tried to break it.
You can't break it.
I tried.
It can't. We can't. I can't break it. Yeah. Oh, Jim, Trump is a total bootlicker. And my friend Dick here is going to vote for Trump. I think he's a fraud. How come he stopped the JFK papers from coming out?
That's a very interesting question.
Yeah, Dick didn't even know about that. Why did he stop the release of the JFK files? How come he stopped that? I don't know why he stopped that. I'm going to vote for Kennedy, but you Trump supporters, you're welcome to put Trump 2024 in this comment section. You're welcome here. We're all dealing with the same thing. But if you vote for Trump, you're voting for cop sucking. He wants to do nationwide stop and frisk. He wants to add more canine cops to every different police department in America. He wants to do door to door with the military to expel illegal immigrants instead of just sealing the border, naturalizing them so that we don't have Americans fighting for jobs that the immigrants are coming in and taking. And so that's what we should be doing. But he tried to kill Edward Snowden, tried to kill Assange. Trump did after he said he's going to take on the deep state. So I just don't support him at all. I'm going to vote for Kennedy because I could never vote for the criminal Biden. So I'm just saying, you guys can support whoever you want. Edie's in the room, everybody. Nice to see you. Where's your comment at, Edie? I just saw you pop in here. Edie's a big supporter. She regularly donates to me, regularly contributes to me, and as you guys know, when someone contributes to me, I just pass it right forward. If you guys need a trifold, don't hesitate to reach out to me through DeleteLawZ.com. Go to contact. If you want a trifold to be mailed to you, I can't have a big rambling letter. I just need your full name, your shipping address perfectly so I can copy and paste it. So I send people out. I send Kenneth got his. I send out free trifolds every single day to people without fail. And I'll never stop doing it. So that's why I need your support, because you're not just supporting me, you're supporting a mission. And I can promise you this, I'm never going to end up on a beach in Bermuda with little honeysuckles all over me. It's just not going to happen. I'd love to go on vacation someday, but unfortunately, I'm completely addicted to what I do. And like right now, I do have to get off here pretty quick. But remember, Heller Gun Dude is up and it is active. And you can get your Heller Gun Dude keychains. We have them in stock now. We are pre-order on hellergundude.com. So remember, we're pre-order. I'm going to show the bigger version just so you guys can see what the model looks like. And then where was that key at, Dick? It's here. But I think that we're going to go with this size unless I get feedback that you guys don't like this size. I just want to make sure. And it says Heller on the side of it so you can start a conversation. So that you can start a conversation with people and talk about Heller versus DC 2008 all the way up until Heller versus DC 2024. He continues to sue for our Second Amendment right, as I'm going to do. You jackboot thug pigs are lucky. I'm for peace. I'm for change. I'm not for violence. I don't respect you pigs. I don't like you pigs. But at the same time, don't attack pigs. Unfortunately, in today's world, you just have to surrender and hope that the torture cuffs don't ruin your wrists forever. But please don't go to violence. I'm asking my followers, my subscribers, my people who support me, please, please, please don't go to violence. I don't want to cover the video where they kill you. Ms. Constitutional Rights is a big supporter. Chevy is a big supporter. Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate it. Sacramento Lynn, thank you. I appreciate it. JT Soup, consistent. Citizens Broadcast Cooperative, been here with me since the beginning. William Eaton, still around, brother. Good to see you, dude. He's been around for 2 years. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I appreciate it. Appreciate it so much. AI Murray is in here. It's been quite a grind, the road that we've been down together. It really has. Peace and Prosperity is here. Cope Doggy Dog has been with me since I got arrested in Ironton, Ohio, March of 2022. Came to my court hearing in Ironton, sat right next to me, gave me some support. I'll never forget what you did for me, Cope Dog. I'll never forget you showing up to court for me, bro. It was something. When you're all alone and you're in a town where half the people hate you, they're the loudest ones. And so Cope Doggy Dog showed up and sat next to me in court. And I just was so grateful for that. Jim Young will never stop, and he promises we won't stop. So if you're a big Second Amendment supporter, then go to Dick Heller's website, Heller Gun Dude, and support what he's doing. He's filing Heller 11 this year, Heller 10. He's never going to stop. He can't take a vacation. He can't stop doing what he's doing. He wants to go live on a boat, but he can't. He told me, I lived on a boat for years, Chille. I want to go back and live on a boat. Unfortunately, I can't because I'm addicted to what I do. James Forbes is in the room. Recent member to Team DLZ the last few months, and been here just consistently day in and day out. You know, I know you're not going to get it. I know you're not going to get it. So listen, show some support. Get out there. Get a trifold so I can send one. Put in the notes of your order who you want me to send it to. That way I have a direction as to where to send it. And I'm going to give you a trifold, but I'm going to give your friend a trifold and a pair of cop cards. And it's going to be the new cop cards, which aren't even off the press. They don't get off the press till Tuesday. So your order's not shipping until Tuesday. Okay? For people, you're not getting your order till Tuesday. All right? Because I don't have a shipping snafu. I do all my own shipping now. So you won't get it. We won't even ship till Tuesday. I just want to be clear about that. And Heller Gun Dude is 30 days away. But then you will have your keychain, or you'll have your, this is almost as big as a paperweight. Plus, I don't know if I want to put this on a keychain because I don't want some cop to say that he saw that you had a firearm with this, like, what would this be? Like a 4 caliber or a 6 caliber? I don't want him to think that you're going to shoot him. All right. I got a ton of videos to make with the gun dude, Dick Heller, today. I got to get the flock out of here. Thank you guys so much for coming to my TED Talk. Remember to ask Jesse if he wants to debate me. And hey, YouTube, United States of America government, you're going to demonetize me anyway. I don't care. I'm just used to it. All right. I'm going to get the flock out of here. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, guys.